Okay. Hello, and welcome to me playing Spyro. I know that my entire channel is basically just made up of me doing nothing but our Twitch streams of just playing roleplay games, really, and I don't know why I got the urge to play this game. Every time I've played it, I felt the urge to do that, and when I was younger, I wanted to do YouTube gameplay, but I don't want to do it for money anymore. I got the whole setup for it. I stopped wanting to for a while, but now I just kind of feel like doing it just because I have a lot of thoughts on the game, and I want to share a few of them. If the audio is off, I'll see if I can fix that, hopefully in the next video. As you can see, I have already played through the last one is 99% because there was actually a glitch where I could not get one gem from Lost Fleet, and I don't know, it clipped through the wall or didn't spawn, and no matter how many times I exited and re-entered the level, it did not come back. So I just could not finish the completely the last game. So I'm going to start here, and the first one is the one that definitely has the most polish. I'll talk about that a bit later. Toys for Bob did work on both of these, however, they were in the second one, they were started to be being rushed, and then they brought in another development team to work on the third one, and they were especially rushed, and there's glitches and a few issues, but I'll get to that when we get to that. You'll hear me give opinions on all of them while I'm playing them. The first one definitely will have the least amount of criticism, absolutely, because of the amount of polish and design-wise and such. The second one, a few issues with certain design choices, but anyway, I'm stalling too long anyway, let's get into that. Drink my massive thing of coffee.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Ganok character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
Simple?
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat?
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
And the adventure begins. And here we are, immediately. Isn't it lovely? I love the little, I imagine, dust mites in the air. Oh, and the dynamic music is on, so when we're standing still, it will become softer. If we're running, it'll be a bit harsher and a lot more drums, and get all echoey in caves and all that. So I'm going to be sharing quite a few opinions about the game. But first, let's go ahead and free Nestor.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
That was Nestor, the leader of the Artisans world. At least assumedly the leader. By the way, there is nothing in here. A lot of people thought that maybe it would be in-game content or something inside, but there's absolutely nothing inside there. So, interestingly enough, they were actually going to originally make this entire game, run away, make this entire game, not fall, what am I saying, sunset, actually. They shared screenshots and ended up not doing it because of the community. Oh yeah, I can't do the head bash move in this game. I forgot. I am also going to forget that I can't hover. There's a little dude. There's not many of these guys. Interesting little thing over here. It's a lot more obvious, ow, than it used to be, because they glow now. This is something you learn about quite a bit later from a dragon. But there we are. We now have a speedway open to us. And strangely enough, water hurts Spyro in this game, and only the first one. Dilbin, sorry.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
Yep. They have created every single dragon in this game that you free to be unique and interesting, and it is awesome. They put a ton of attention to detail in them. In particular, that guy was clearly a painter. As we are in the Artisans world, they're all going to be artists.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
Well, he played a little note for us as he went. So he was clearly a musician, with, I imagine, a lute. There are other instruments that look like lutes, however, so correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Oh yeah, and just the fire just burns the ground and grass and everything. It's very nice. Nice little attention to detail there. Interesting thing about Nestor, the first dragon, the leader of the Artisans world, I imagine. When he was first shown, I don't know if it was a placeholder or not, but in the, I believe it was the trailer actually, for the game, he looked quite a bit different, and people were not happy about it. Like, he didn't look, I guess, like the leader of the artisan world to them. He was wearing some sort of hat. I'm not sure exactly what it was. It might have been a turban of some sort. He didn't look like people thought he should. So I don't know if they changed him or if they were just using a placeholder, but I've never seen that dragon that was shown as him. Ah, yeah, skill point. in the game afterwards, so maybe they scrapped it entirely. And as you saw, we just got a skill point. The first game now has skill points, which is interesting. I know I can get them all in the first game. I don't know about the second one. I don't even think I attempted to in the second one. I tried in the third, but there was one in particular that I massively struggled with. And I think it was nearly impossible for me to get it. I don't know if it was a glitch or if it was by design. But here we are with another dragon, Argus.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The Artisans' boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other Artisan lands.
Yep. All dragons found in this area. I don't know what type of artist he would be. He just had, like, a watermelon with a few bites taken out of it. I have not gotten all the gems in this area. Isn't that lovely? I don't know why they would want to use magic to hold those up when you can just, I don't know, use structure for it. But then again, they're dragons, and why not use a ton of unnecessary magic? If you can do it, then why not do it? So the chests and such look quite a bit different in this game than the other ones. In fact, there's not even chests. And here's the balloonist.
If you prove your worth by rescuing 10 dragons, then you may use this balloon to fly to a new world.
He did not used to have a voice. So yes, we will see him when we go to the next world. Look at all the... They look like embers in here, but they're probably still dust mites. At least I think they're called dust mites. Alright. Spark, show me where the... Of course, it would be one laying right there. I do struggle with that sometimes. Now, in this particular homeworld, thankfully, I don't have to go in any particular order. Whereas in the other homeworlds, I do have to pick a specific order, especially in the third one. Due to getting certain power-ups that you will need in certain worlds, or certain characters to unlock in certain worlds. Usually the loading screens aren't quite this long, but you can breathe fire in them, and move, and barrel roll. Actually, yeah, I think the loading screens in this one is longer than the other ones. I really like to headbutt these. I don't know why. It's like a challenge because they have horns and I have horns, so I have won your challenge. I completely forgot where we are. Hold on. So we have a guidebook now. Stonehill. There we go. Now I'm going to be guessing what the dragons or anything they use in these areas. Well, what they use them for, anyways. Oh, I almost forgot. It also shows you skill points. So I reach the platform, Stonehill. Let's burn the hidden pink tulip. At least I think it's a pink. I didn't read it for very long. But I do know where that is. I know how to do them for the most part. It's not been too terribly long since I have played this the first time. Oh, and there is the egg thief. The eggs now look like, in the first one, that the eggs, well, the eggs now look like they do in the third one as well. So that is, I imagine, a shepherd. So these lands, I imagine, either belong or used to belong the shepherds who are possibly attempting to take them back currently. That's basically all it looks like in this area, is just a ranch, I suppose. Just fields and such to feed the sheeps and things like that. And here we have another dragon.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
Ah, yes. He is clearly a painter. And yes, of course, the whole game hinges on gliding, which is what sets it apart and makes it rather unique from other platformers, whereas you mostly just obviously jump for the most part. In this game, thankfully, Sparks picks up all of the green gems for me. The third game, he doesn't like to pick up specifically green gems sometimes. I'm not entirely sure why, despite standing right next to them. I've heard that he does that for some people's games in other areas, but it's but I haven't had that only in apart from only the third game. And it's especially unfortunate because, as you can see, there is now grass that, you know, visible grass that sticks up from the ground. No, that's not where the flower is. And it can be a little tricky to actually find the gems now because they can be hidden in the grass. They're a little more difficult to see, and they also don't have... Oh, I hear you. And they also do not have sparkles anymore like they used to. They used to sparkle from any point where you were in the map. You should have been able to see them sparkling from a distance. They do not have that anymore. Wow, I'm just not quite as fast as him, am I? Well, this is probably the exact same speed. So yes, that was a dragon egg. For some reason, these thieves like to steal them. There's actually a... I don't know if it's canon or not, but I was told in the Japanese version of the game, I think it's the Japanese version of the game, that the story was, well, at least in the box, like the little booklet that came with the, that used to come with old games, it, in the booklet it said that, at least I think it was the booklet, it might have been something completely different, but anyway, where's that tulip? I think it's over, I might have missed it. It said that, there it is. That Spyro, was actually found, like, his egg, and Sparks' egg was actually found, well, taken from an egg thief, and they originally came from some distant land, which is why, I imagine, that, Spyro looks different than all the rest of the dragons, you know, particularly being a quadruped. Astor.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya!
Ah yes, it is a running joke in this game that Spyro does not like hearing old people talk. Now, as you can see, this is your only hint that there is actually a little beach down here. I never found this as a child, so when it came to this key, I never got to open the chest. Oh, and you may notice I tend to know a bit about, like, I guess the history of Spyro and the development process in yeah, the development process of at least this game, not so much Insomniac's, a little bit of Insomniac's version of well, not version, the original games. I've done a bit of research on it, just because I found it very interesting, and I really love this game. Gavin. He's a barista.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong, like me.
Sure.
He even has those little, what look like piercings in his horns that you would kind of expect, I guess, a barista to have. Okay, Sparks, what have I missed? Ah, yes, an entire tunnel. Good.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
I assume that he is a clockmaker. The type of artisan that he is. Of course, the artisan dragons in the artisan world are specifically, obviously dragons who make art. They live in this area. Didn't miss anything up top, did? Yes, I did. Is this the right way to get to? Yes, it is. So, yes, this entire section of artist dragons would be living here. I think that's pretty neat. It's all the way over there then, okay. And yes, the dragons, the majority of them, especially in the beginning, will give you hints and... Why is it always the red ones? Red is like the... Red is just the most eye-catching color, and yet I'm always missing red ones. There's a little gem up there. And here we go. Instead of portals, we have these little return home pads in the first one. I'm not entirely certain why. And we have one little gripe I have. While these guys are completely harmless in this homeworld, one thing that I have issues with is respawning enemies, specifically in homeworlds. I do not like respawning enemies. I find them rather annoying. So we're going to go and do Sunny Flight. I cannot guarantee I'm going to be able to get them, that we'll be able to get it the first try. If I struggle enough, I will pause the video and come back when I have completed it. Because I do not really think you want to see me just continuously floundering. Now then, if I can remember the order I usually do it in, or at least the order I've seen most other people do it in. Oh! Okay. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I'm just gonna restart. That was probably the worst I've ever done. Alright, I'm just gonna go this way now. Note to self, watch out for the crystals. It's always good to go against the grain with anything that like flies or travels in a certain way. Alright, where's the last one? There you are. This one is also the only game out of the 3 where you... I'm having trouble collecting my thoughts. Where it has little time you get more time for each thing that you gather. Probably should have gotten those two other ones a second ago. Yep, probably should have gotten that one and the other one. More than likely not going to make it this time. Yeah. Definitely not gonna make it this time. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to get these first. And if I don't make it this time, I'm just going to skip ahead to when I do. Oh, there's another one. Whoop. And missed both. Good job. Okay, so I am going to skip ahead now. Okay. So, I haven't finished it quite yet. I've got a few seconds left. Fuck. Hopefully I can get all of these, since these are the ones that I did not show yet. Swirl around, and get the last one. There we go. I'm not retrying that. It took me just a couple more tries after pausing the video. At least I hope the pausing works. I don't want to have to edit that. I want to try to not edit anything, actually. Because my editor, well, the software I use to edit, takes a considerably long time to upload. Ah, okay, yes. There's very few worlds here. I keep forgetting that. Is this open yet? I like to do the bosses early. And this is the only dragon that will tell you something different if you free him at a different time.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The Artisans' boss is through a portal behind me. You can challenge him now, if you feel you are ready.
Yes. So before he was all like, no, don't go, you can't go in there yet, you need to go to at least one other world, and now he's fine with it. Ah yes, look at that sun, well, not even sunset, it's just a dark orange sky. I used to be so terrified of this place as a child. Alright, let's... Yep. And that's why. It's because there are no sheep around. Okay. I don't really have to, like, dodge them or anything. You could just flame them twice. Ow. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose this the first time because of these damn dogs. Actually, this is the only place in the game that I think it is most appropriate to use the dodge roll. Okay, I will talk about this little area in a moment. Assuming I do not die first. These are now, I would imagine, sheepdogs. They used to be what looked like Doberman Pinschers. Ah, look at that. Okay, now this little castle, I would imagine, belongs to the dragon over there. So let's take just a moment to have a look at it. It's a place that we just were in the flight mission. That is in the second game, one of my favorite homeworlds, if not my favorite homeworld. That is the Artisans homeworld that we were just in. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, maybe flipped around actually. There's the dock that the balloonist is. There is a dragon. I don't know exactly which. There is... Ah yes, I think that's Bubba, people's favorite. I think his name is Bubba. There's one from, I imagine, Magic Crafters. So yes, and there is who I assume to be the owner of this castle. Treetops. That's in Treetops. Well, actually, it may not be. What I assume this place is actually is a gallery type place where dragons just come to show their art and buy and sell art. To be honest.
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on! I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. Toasty has many tricks up his sleeve.
Oh, I forgot. I did not say his name. They didn't used to say Toasty before. Ow! As you can see, it is a sheep. Hopefully I actually get this. I'm just gonna try to play it safe. There we go. First try. I did not expect to get it on the first try. I don't have sparks with me. Damn it. Oh, hopefully... Yes, okay, good. Level complete? Yes, level complete. Perfect. I don't think I ever actually managed that as a child, to be honest. I may have, like, once. There we go, we have Sparks back. But yes, I think that area, like, if I were to give it a purpose... Ooh. I would have expected it to be a gallery, like those big round areas where you fight him. I can just imagine, you know, art encircling the areas where the dragons just come around to show off their art. And Dark Hollow, here we go. To show off their art or buy and sell art. That's the purpose I would think it has anyway. This place, Dark Hollow, used to be one of my absolute favorites, and it is still one of my favorites. I love what they did with it. 1 second, let me just check. I can see it getting darker outside. Let me check if... I don't think I need... Yeah, no, I don't think I need more light that I am aware of. Oh, forgot my mouse does things. Actually, 1 sec. Let me see what my camera does about the light. I will be right back. Just enjoy him waving at you. I brightened it up just a little bit. My camera seems to be very laggy to me. If it is, I may have to restart the entire playthrough. Or, you know what? I will keep it as is, and in the next episode, if it does in fact look laggy after I watch this, then I just won't have cameras anymore. I don't think I doubt I would be using the camera every time anyways, just because of how fussy I am about my hair. Alban.
Oh, it's you. I wasn't sure if you'd escaped those annoying little creatures. Of course they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Their metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
So yeah, they often tell you a bit after the fact what you need to be doing. But yeah, I'm always fussy about my hair. Rub it at me for a moment. Thank you. It's always a mess, so I just figured, I'll go ahead and record anyway, because it's just never going to not be a mess. It's lovely in here. This whole area, yes, roar. This whole area I used to think, was probably used for, at least in the PS1 version, I used to think it was used for sleeping, to be honest. Everybody came here to nap. Books weren't here before.
Psst. Spyro, wanna know a secret? Use the action button when you want to zoom in and look around.
Oh, your secret's safe with me.
You know what? That was actually the model that they had in place of Nestor before. I never noticed that. Except it was green. Whoa! Forgot there's not a step there. Ah yes, the key. I don't think they did keys in the second one, but they did in the first and third one. Can't remember there being a key thing mechanic. But yes, now they this place is clearly a library. Probably also used for napping though, since the guy yawned as soon as he woke up. So yes, just seems like a very nice, quiet place and peaceful place to read. I mean, I don't know how you'd get a lot of reading done considering how dark it is. Don't you bounce over to me. Oh, okay. You can actually flame these guys when their shields are to the side. I have not been even thinking about the skill points. Sorry about that, I tend to forget them. Okay, we have not been to Town Square yet. I forgot actually about Town Square. And there's Peacekeepers. I think there's quite a few less, skill points in this game than the other games, actually. But yeah, the second and third one, I believe, have always had skill points, but I never knew how to figure out what they were before, so I never did them. And this game, like I said, never used to have them until now. Ah yes, that's another life, as you can see. Look at this little area, it's so cute. I would come to nap here. It just feels like such a calming place to be. I really like the layout of the entire place, really.
Big enemies like this Nork with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
A little late to the party, dude. So yes, he clearly seemed to be an actor. or a thespian, if you will. Which is a form of art, I would say. Almost forgot to get the chest. Ah, this place is so nice. Let's look at the sky. Yep, moon and the stars is basically what I expected to see. For some reason I was thinking, oh, maybe there's a magical element to it. Nope, it's just night. There we go. And that's this level complete. It is way too short, in my opinion, for such an enjoyable place. Candles, the mostly melted candles as well. They did a really good job with the ambience, and the music there is nice as well. Spyro's music is very unique. It's quirky and interesting, and they got the same guy, Stuart Copeland, to come in and do the music for this game as he did in the first one. The original. Is this the right way? I don't know if it's the right way. I think this is the way. Yeah, it's to the balloonist. Excuse me. I want to be going this way. Ah yes, here we are. I don't know what this area would be used for. There's little towers, I guess homes. I wouldn't want to live in a home that is that small, and probably one-roomed, unless it has stairs, but then you have spiral stairs to really tiny rooms. Here we are, Town Square. I'm not sure why the loading screens are longer in the first one than the other two. At least it seems that way. Because in the other two, they appear to last, like, a few seconds. I don't even have time to move around and breathe fire, usually, in them. So here we are in Town Square, which I imagine the purpose of this place would be pretty obvious, in my opinion. It is the main area in which everybody goes, and I imagine to hold events and buy things. Nils.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro. Begin exploring by gliding to that area with the bulls. Use the right stick to get a good look.
Oh, you knocked over your sculptor. So yes, he is clearly a sculptor. Boink. Oh yeah, skill point, skill point. Yeah, all bulls stuck in Town Square. You don't actually have to kill the bulls here, you just need to stick them. Oh, okay. There we go. At least I don't think you have to. I can't remember. Ah, yes. These are only found in the first game. Oh, gliding while not hovering is going to mess me up.
Thanks, Spyro. I had the worst itch on the tip of my wing. Did you know that you get your longest glides by pressing the jump button at the very top of your jump?
I like how he has a cake saying thanks Spyro before we even rescued him. But yes, clearly he is a baker. I feel like Town Square in particular, not so much art, but... Ow. Really? What is with the hitboxes on these things? I think this place is more for people who make food, really. Hitboxes on these bulls is a little odd. Now this guy has at least in the original, with the way the line is delivered, my favorite line.
Spyro! Did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg! You've got to track him down and get that egg! Run! Run! I'm getting a little winded.
But yeah, the delivery of that line is perfectly fine in this game. But in the other one, I don't know. I think it was a little more exaggerated. Now here starts the whole thing about having to glide to areas you cannot see. That is an aspect only in this game. Except maybe one part in the third one that I can remember. But yes, in this game in particular, you are doing a lot of gliding to places that are around corners, basically, that you cannot see. Damn it. And I do not have hover, and I hate that I do not have hover. Of course, it is a learned skill in the second game, so we're not going to have it in the first game, sadly. However, they have implemented a little thing to make it a bit easier, which is when Spyro hits just the very tip top of a ledge, he will pop up a little bit. Oh, what happened? This game, in my opinion, is more difficult than the other ones. There's our skill point. Oh, and these. I almost forgot about these. I will show you what they do. I think it should work on this screen. Okay, it's not going to do that to the ball. But you can actually use those to hit enemies who are far away.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. You can always check your progress by accessing the guidebook through the pause menu.
Thank you. He never used to say that. He used to just say the generic thing. Which was, thank you for releasing me. That most of the dragons say. They made him to where they say more now. And this area is done. So yeah, I feel like that place basically just has all food related. Really, people go there for like cookouts and things like that. And like I said, probably like festivals and things like that. So now we can go to the balloonist. I think that I will be probably separating these videos based on homeworlds and what are in the homeworlds, because they're not particularly long. As you can see, I have 100% on all of them.
Wow! I see you've been busy rescuing dragons, Spyro. You may travel to the Peacekeeper's world if you like. Are you ready to go?
Boink. So yeah, like I said, if this, if my camera is really laggy for some reason, then I will just not use the camera anymore. At least the first one will have what I look like in it, I guess. And then after that, then I won't have to bother with camera stuff anymore. Or, you know, my hat or anything like that. So here we are in Peacekeepers, and I will see you in the next one. If, well, you may not see me, I don't know. Let's see.